Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to CRL for Tier 1, Round 7 here at the Texas Grand Prix in the United States. My name is Indigo, and I'll be taking you through this 18-minute qualifier session and the 28-lap race we have ahead of us here tonight. And as you can see, it is pouring down here in USA, so all these drivers are going to find it very difficult in these wet conditions. It is difficult enough with a low grip surface on off-camber corners, which can be really difficult to get on the power, but we'll see then how these drivers handle it. And we've got a few newcomers here tonight as well, and returning people. So we've got ILT Bob Pierre, the Dutchman, who is an 8-time podium sitter, hasn't won a race yet here in CRL, is back in the Mercedes. We've got Alpha Gully as a newcomer. We've got Chopic F1 also as a newcomer. Ferg, the Season 5's champion, is back. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ferg is back after his incredible fight with Duval in Season 3 and 4. Ferg has returned. He also raced in Season 10 last season, which was about almost a year ago as well. So it's nice to see Ferg returning back after a long period away, but he's back in the Alpine, and we'll see what he could do. Sorry, in the McLaren, and we'll see what he could do. Jeroen Visser, the Season 6 champion, is filling in for the Alpine, a usual driver that races here in Code as well, a Season 6 champion and multiple race winner. And we'll see what he can do here tonight. His last race win, I think, came at the Japanese Grand Prix in Season 9. So we'll see what he can do here tonight in USA. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday to him. Congratulations, and hopefully he's had a wonderful day. We'll see how good it will get here as we see the first drivers out on the circuit. So we've got a mixture of intermediates and wets being used. So we'll see which is a better tyre compound. Judging by this, it does look like it's on the crossover point between the inters and wets, but as the session goes on, it could get lighter, or it could get even more torrential rain as well. So we'll see who's got the right tyres on the car. So it's Delano who's the first one out of the circuit. Then here he is in the Aston Martin driver as he makes his way now towards turn 15 we go. And we'll see then how these drivers tackle these wet conditions. It can be very difficult as well on the power. You can see already sliding through the corners. So in the first few laps of their qualifying simulation, they'll struggle just a bit to try and get used to track conditions as he makes his way out of turn 19, as he heads back in the pit lane on the wet compound tyres. So he believes that the inters could be a better tyre than the wet conditions. Last time out, we were at the Canadian Grand Prix where we saw a fantastic victory from Glowstick. Then he dipped, of course, as he's not here tonight, unfortunately. So Glowstick with a fantastic victory, his first win in Division 1 as Pyro climbs towards turn 1 on the wet compound tyres. A bit of drifting out there coming towards turn 1 as he gets back on the power. Once again, all these drivers on their first lap will feel a bit tentative, of course, but it's all about who can adapt to these conditions as we flick our way through in this first sector. Change direction left and right as we end the first sector. Let's see his split at 29.4 in the first sector. Will this qualifying session get better, or will the rain just stay like this? Glowstick finished first in Canada as Pyro gets a massive twitch out of turn 9. It was Seba was second and Nathan in P3. Nathan getting another podium as well. So Nathan there securing his first podium of the season, because if you remember back in Mexico, he got demoted down, and that's the reason why he didn't pick up a podium that day. And also in Austin, Nathan won the race in USA last season in Season 10 with Sweet Cloud in P2 and Smalley Boards in third. I remember the wet conditions in Season 9 with me and Steve Van commented, because the two Ferraris of Reservoir and Troy, they pitted on the dry compound tyres in the wet conditions. They were leading, and both Ferraris pitted, and they chopped all the way down the order on the wrong tyres. So it was a throwaway race for them, as they could have gone for gold, but instead meant for broke. As here we are coming towards the triple hand. Here we go. This is where the drivers might struggle the most. A high-speed corner. You can see him just lift off the throttle as he makes his way down towards turn 19. This looks like a decent tiny lap so far as he flirts with the track limits on the outside of turn 19, heading towards the final corner we go. Let's see what the benchmark is as he drifts out the corner. So 48.4 for Tony, and we'll see if anybody else will improve. We've got a Red Bull or RB on their lap times. It's Duval. Here he is then in the RB, coming towards the final corner we go. And let's see what the Season 3 and Season 4 double champ could do as he makes his way now towards the line at 49.8. We'll see massive gaps around here as well, because obviously the wet conditions separates or creates big gaps, because sometimes it takes a few people to adjust than others As we see Jeroen Visser, the birthday boy, head towards turn 1. Sieb goes up into P2. He is on the intermediate tyres, but I am not sure what tyre compound is best to use, if it's the wets or the inters or both. It could be the crossover point as AJ puts himself into P4. KXI, the Division 2 driver, up into P5 with a 51.4. He did take part in Division 2's race. And Bob Pierre goes into P3 just behind Sieb with a 49.7, separated by 200ths of a second there, so it's very close. Pharrell in the kick Sauber goes up into P6 just ahead of KXI with a 50.0. He had no practice back in the Canadian Grand Prix, hence why he was struggling so much. He finished in P13 on that day. As we see, Kenny goes up into P4 with a 49.7. That's crucial. That's very interesting because Kenny's on the wet compound tyres and he's only about a few hundreds slower than Bob Pierre and Sieb in P2 and P3, so that is very close margins between those guys on different tyre compounds on a track like this where it's very difficult as Jeroen now heads towards the braking zone, in towards turn 11. He goes, I thought he went off the track for one split second, but managed to keep all four wheels on the road as Bosch Evans goes up into P2 with a 48.8 there. That's a great lap time there for the Division 2 driver who finished second on Monday's race, and he's ahead of Sieb by a big margin as well as Jeroen Visser makes his way towards the triple ahead. Do we go, and we'll see how he tackles this then in fifth gear, just playing with the throttle to see how much he can get away with as we make our way now towards turn 19 and turn 20 as he has a massive slide. Head towards the final corner, goes a bit deep there, misses the apex, has to get on the power once again, but here he is towards the line. It's a 48.0, and that's his second lap time on a set of wet compound tyres there. So despite his mistakes, he still puts it towards the top end of the field by 0.4 of a second. Of course, on the wet compound tyres / the inters, drivers could do multiple runs on these set of inters and wets because they don't wear up as much as the soft compound tyres do. Plus, you don't use a lot of EUS either because you're not on full throttle all the time, so battery is easy to save in the wet compound. Sorry, the wet conditions. There we go. Finally get the words out. But we see Nathan as he heads back in the pit lane. Pharrell is also in the pit lane too. The Aston Martin drivers haven't set a lap time just yet, but they're close together on the circuit. One's on the wets and the others on the inters. So let's see what those two will do in a few seconds' time. Entering turn 14 they go as we see Kenny slide into the final corner. It's not really been a great season for Kenny so far. I thought we see more of him, but he has got himself in a few incidents now and then, and unfortunately for him, it just hasn't got its way at all. Best finish was at P6 at the Imola Grand Prix, but after that, he just can't seem to get it right. As Diddy says, good evening, how are you doing, mate? Hopefully you're alright too. It's nice to see you in the chat, Diddy, as you were very competitive here on Monday, but I don't think nobody else. Well, they're all on a flying lap, but I'm not quite sure who else out there is improving. Delano goes up into P15, but that's a 52.9. Sweet Car's in P40, but I think he's going for multiple runs, as you can see, cutting the corners there. As Alpha Gully, his teammate, is down in the first sector, but he's not on a flying lap. KXI heading towards turn 12. He goes in the braking zone. We'll see what AJ's doing. AJ raced in Division 1 at the Australian Grand Prix, and I think he did a decent job as well. So, nice job there for AJ. A former Div 1 driver himself, of course, but he's in Division 2, and he's very competitive there as well. So far, half of qualifying has gone. It's Jeroen Visser on pole, but he's starting a third flying lap on these wet compound tyres. Let's go on board to see how he tackles this track as we head towards turn 1. There's a kick Sauber heading out the pit lane. That's Nathan JP, but a massive snap oversteer in towards turn 1 already as he tries to get back on the floor. Massive wheel spin as we head towards turn 2 we go. Nipping a bit of the apex there. Massive cow steer again. You can see the back end of the car definitely kicking out as he tries to break traction, heading through this first sector we go. You can see him literally drifting to the corner there, and he's 3/10 down the first sector, so he's lost a lot of lap time. Has Jeroen Visser, sorry. Kenny's going towards turn 19 and turn 20, currently in P6 so far. DeWill is not on a lap, he's just about limited there. He's got a car right behind him, free fall up into P10, better than he did. He started P13 in USA, I think, around here, last race. He started P3 in Canada, starts P10 right now, starts at P13 in Division 2 as he has a massive slide out of turn 11, their braking zone, heavy braking zone. Dende for the masterclass strategy, but unfortunately he picked up too many penalties and he didn't have the pace to go with it either. But he was the first one to commit onto the wet compound tyres or inters, and he catapulted himself up the order dramatically. and he led the few laps at the Canadian Grand Prix as well. What a masterclass strategy there that was from Dead Dave. But we'll see how his pace is. Of course, an ILT driver, close friends with Seb and Bobby and Kenny, of course. So those guys will be in a bubble together, just working through the strategy, helping each other as well, go along the way here in USA. It is then Dave's second appearance because I got confused between him and Elite Dave and Angry Davey. But there's been 3 Daves so far. Hopefully this day turns out to be better than the last 2. But here we are then. He has invalidated his lap time, of course, so he won't be able to go for that one as Nathan JB starts his first flying lap on the wet compound tyres. Do you know what? I think it's a bit indecisive what tyres go on. Majority now got the wet compound tyres. Even the people that improved on the Inters are on the wet compound tyres. So I think the wets are the way to go here throughout the rest of the session. It does look Tetris out there with puddles flooding the track as he now makes his way towards the first sector, taking it very cautiously there, trying to make sure he finds the throttle. 29.8 in the first sector for Nathan JB as he climbs towards turn 8 and turn 9. Oh, look at that. He uses a lot of curb as he slides through the corner. Oh, the exit he goes, and we'll see how his lap unfolds for the rest of it as we head down towards turn 11, another heavy braking zone. It is very difficult because you're rather slow speed. It's very important to build up traction, and he gets a very nice exit in D. He manages to break traction without any sort of wheel spin as he heads on to the main straight then, or the back straight, with DRS should be enabled if it is dry. But of course, in the wet conditions, DRS will be disabled as he heads towards the heavy braking zone. This last sector here, where people will find it very difficult with slow speed, mid-speed corners. It's all about being patient on the throttle, trying to build that traction. You can see him there just experimenting with the throttle there to see how much grip he has in that kick-style. But as we exit turn 15, look at that. You can see he's slowly, gradually building up the throttle as he makes his way now towards the triple right-hander. He goes, being very careful indeed. Here's Nathan JB coming towards turn 19 now as he misses the apex slightly, bit of a wobble on going out too as he heads towards the final corner. Let's see what Nathan JB could do as he makes his way towards the line. This is going to be his first lap time, so it's nothing special with a 50.0, but hopefully on his second and third lap time he can find more time, more grip and more pace to see how he does. And free fall goes up into P4 with a 48.9 on 5-lap old wet compound tyres there. So I think a trip to the pits is necessary there to put on a brand new set of wets and see what else he could do. That's a fantastic lap time. Bosch Evans is improving in the first sector by almost 2 tenths as well. So he's also flying 2 Division 2 drivers that appeared in Mexico that Bosch Evans scored the podium as well, are doing a fantastic job so far, it must be said. Steve now is the first man in the 47s. He's on pole, is C4 Gamer, and he's also a championship contender, it must be said, because he's got some mighty pace. He has been unlucky at some times as well. Remember, the Australian Grand Prix, Singapore is also another one as well, and he won at the Mexican Grand Prix where I wasn't there. As Bosch Evans heads towards turn 12, and let's see how he takes it in second gear, slowly get on throttle. Let's see where his second intermediate split is. Look at that, 3 tenths up in the middle sector, and we'll see where this places him. Let's see if he can find more time in the last sector as he wounds the steering into 50, counter steers out of it, as I think he would have cut the corner there if he didn't counter steer. As we make our way now towards the triple, how do we go? Is there any more time left for Josh? Majority of people are on their laps. Sweet Khan is down at P19, Ferg is in 20th place, but we know there's more pace coming from those two, and Alpha Gully as well in P18. Den Day potentially as Chazer goes towards the top. Here comes Bosch Evans across the line. It's a 47.6 there, and he beats Chazer by 800ths of a second there. Super fine margins in these tricky wet conditions. Nathan JB now on his second lap with a 46.9. Are the conditions improving now because a lot of drivers finding more time? And we'll see if anybody else surprises us as Pharrell in the other Sauber goes up into P6 ahead of Tony. But Tony, look at that, 1.2 seconds up in that middle sector. Then Dave pops his Red Bull into P3. There's a Williams coming, and that Williams is Alpha Gully starting his flying lap. There's an RB coming. That's Duwell, who goes up into P10, just gets himself in the top 10 ahead of Freefall. As we see Pyro now, will he take Paul away? He's 1.2 seconds up in the middle sector. Any more time to be found for Pyro as he makes his way towards the line? Look at that, a 46.4, 5 tenths quicker than Nathan JB. And then McLaren is headed towards the line. That's Ferg, I think, starting a lap time. The times are tumbling down. Both McLarens on a flying lap. And where is Sweetcon? Sweetcon is down in P19. Here he is on the back straight. Look at that. 1.8 seconds up. The conditions are definitely improving. The drivers are finding more time as they find more confidence as they continue to go on a flying lap, or they continue flying laps multiple times. And look at that, 3.8 seconds. But we know Sweetcon has done a 52.8 there, so you expect it to be about 4.8 seconds quicker. But let's see then, as he wounds his way in towards turn 15, this left-hander, where we see multiple battles going on as well in that middle sector as he makes his way towards the triple right-hander. Sweetcon saves his best until the last. Here he is there, the dark horse, as let's see who just got, somebody just crossed the line there to go up into, I don't know who it was, but here we are, Sweetcon coming towards the final corner. Let's see if this is Paul from the Dutchman as he makes his way towards the line. What's it going to be for him? It's P2 with a 46.4, 3 tenths quicker than Nathan JB, as JB starts his potential flying last lap as the rest of them are on their way. Farrell goes up into P5 in the kick Sauber. Great lap time from him. Great qualifier for him as well. Not quite sure who that Mercedes was who crossed the line as company ordered. Bosch Evans though is 6 tenths up, but 3 tenths down as Alpha Gully in other Williams goes on pole with a cracking lap time of a 45.0 on his debut here. So that's a mega lap time there as he saved his best until the last. I don't think he can do another lap time. That's his qualified, done and dusted then. So let's see if anybody else out there. Pyro is going for his last flying lap in the Ferrari, his last tour, as Bosch Evans is also go for his last flying lap very shortly as well. Chazza is on a lap time, I think, so let's go on board with him. As AJ is still P9. He goes up into P7 now, does Ferg, as Chazza, blistering pace in the Mercedes, or Haas, sorry. He is 6 tenths up in the middle sector as he makes his way now towards 14 and 15. He goes into third gear, clipping the apex as he gets back on the throttle again. Massive wheel spin as he applies the throttle down. Bobpier and Sieb, I think, are a big danger. P12, P16, and KXI and Kenny as well down there. As Chazza makes his way down towards turn 19, he goes in fifth gear, uses all the curb on the exit as he makes his way now towards the final corner. Oh, almost invalidates, but keeps it within the boundaries of the white lines. As Chazza goes up into P3, a great qualifying session there from the Haasman. Anybody else out there improving? Sweetcon, his lap is done and dusted, but here comes Nathan JB now towards the final corner. Let's see where Nathan can put his Sauber as he crossed the line now. Is P2 with a 46.0, 1 second slower than Alpha Gully. Pyro is on his last lap as he drifts towards turn 12. He goes a few hundreds up in the first sector as he makes his way towards the end of the middle sector. 3 tenths up is Pyro, but massive wheel spin there as he makes his way now towards the end of the middle sector. Turn 15 we go. Jeroen Visser in the Alpine goes up into P3 with a 46.2. The last time I remember Jeroen Visser racing was at the Imola Grand Prix when there was massive contact with him and Nelly Safu and Pease. Here he is down towards turn 19. Pyro invalidates, unfortunately, and that's his lap time over. Anybody else out there looking to improve? Bosch Evans is down in the first sector by 0.06 of a second. Farrell is on his last lap, headed out of turn 9 uphill. Here comes Ferg towards the line. He goes. Let's see what he could do. And the McLaren stays in P12 but does improve his lap time. Kenny and Sieb are the ones interesting me. Sieb is 6 tenths up. Kenny is down at turn 12. Where's Bobpier in the Mercedes? Bobpier is headed towards the end of the middle sector. 2 seconds up is Bobpier. And that's, let's see where this puts him. But he needs to find a lot more time than that in the final sector. As we see Chazza in P6. And let's see who else are there. Ali crossed the line to go up into P13 in the Ferrari. Bobpier now makes his way towards the triple right-hander. He goes in 5th gear. Here's the last lap. Let's see what ILT Bobpier could do as he makes his way now towards turn 19. Returning after a long period away. ILT Bobpier, co-commentator of mine for Division 3, coming towards the final corner now. Let's see what the ILT driver could do. He goes up into P6 in the Mercedes. Further behind, Kenny's up into P15. And Sieb, let's see what he could do as he makes his way towards the line now. It's P2 with a 46.0. And bearing in mind, he did that lap on the intermediates, which is very interesting indeed. That's a very interesting qualifying session that was. and it showcases all the drivers' skills and capabilities as well, testing the limits of the track, testing the limits of themselves, trying to push as hard as they can. And that's Alpha Gully for Shazoo on pole with a 45.0. But we've got some really competitive lap times going on, and hopefully we should have a good race as well. See who got denied the win after staying on the intermediates in P2. Is he looking for another potential victory here as well? The man has only won one race this season after having misfortunes in other Steve World Gamer. I remember in Imola when he spun as well, and in Singapore when he got taken out into the wall. The Australian Grand Prix when he got taken out twice in that race. In fact, he took himself out first in turn 2 when he spun, and Pyro took him out in turn 9 and turn 10. But there is your results then. Alpha Gully on pole by almost a second ahead of Sieb and Nathan Giroon. Pyro and P5 ahead of Dead Dave. Dead Dave, a great qualifying from him in P6. ILT Bompy in 7th ahead of Chaza. Sweet Clown in P9 in the Williams. A bit of an outlier in there, P9. Bosch Evans in 10th ahead of Delano. AJ 12th, Pharrell 13th, Ferg in 14th, Ali 15th, ILT 16th, sorry, Kenny 16th, Duel 17th, Tropic on his debut in 18th, Freefall, and KXI. To me, it seems like Relentless versus ILT in here. I think I've said that before as well, as with a few Shazoo people in here as well. But we move on to the 28 lap race around here in Kota, or 29 lap race, and we should see hopefully a good one because you can overtake and also battle throughout the whole of the middle sector. So let's see what the race has in store for us tonight. The formation lap is underway then, and we'll see what the tyres people have gone for. So the top two, hards to mediums, in my opinion, that strategy isn't really a good one, in my opinion anyway, but we'll see. I've proved me one before, but see, when he's done the hard to medium strategy, it hasn't gone his way. Remember back in the Canadian Grand Prix, and I think it was Singapore as well. Just the hard to medium strategy is not really good because medium compound tyres do fade away quite quickly. When they go, they go. There's no saving them. They slide around so much and generate so much tyre temperature. Well, it's very easy to overheat those tyres. But the medium compound tyres, mediums to hards, people on the mediums can get rid of them early doors, then take the hards for the rest of the race. But we'll see which strategy is the best here tonight. Got a split though between the mediums and the hards, so I'm quite interested and intrigued to see what happens. We'll see World Gamer get Alpha Gully down at turn 1. We've seen it plenty of Rosberg back in 2015 when that was a race. wet to dry race. And we saw Sebastian Vettel on Lewis Hamilton back in 2017. Kimi Raikkonen on the ultra soft tyres against Lewis Hamilton in turn 1. And we saw Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton at 2021 as well. Charles Leclerc managed to go through a Max Verstappen and Lando Norris last year in the US Grand Prix. But the US Grand Prix is also always shows some tremendous action in its past history. First introduced back in 2012, one of the 3 US tracks we have, Las Vegas and Miami. I don't really like those 2 tracks, but here in Texas, it always provides some entertainment as all 20 drivers line up on the grid. Despite a few people missing, it's always nice to see we've got some reserves to make up a full house here. And we'll see what happens going up towards turn 1. Only time I think that somebody's not got overtaken to turn 1, I think Max Verstappen back in 2023 when Charles Leclerc tried to go to the inside, but Verstappen covered him off. As all 20 drivers line up on the grid then, ready for this race. We'll see what happens into turn 1. See if he finished second. We'll be looking to go one higher better than he did in Canada last race in North America. Here we are then. All 20 drivers are ready for the race. So look at the panels above. Look but never stare. I can't see the panels, but Ali gets a drive-through penalty as we underway for Texas. Alpha Gully gets a line to start. Nathan puts his seat. We're 3 abreast. In towards turn 1 we go. Giroud down the inside. Makes contact with Alpha Gully as Nathan now takes advantage of Giroud as he was ghosted. Nathan up into P2 ahead of Giroud Vizzer with C being pushed down into P4 on the hard compound tyres. Had no defence at all. Was in the middle of it. Couldn't do anything about it. Sweet Crown is ahead of Bosch Evans. A few more people exchanging positions. There's a bit of contact as well between some people. And then players been flying off somebody. And they're going to be lacking the downforce in the first sector. Was that Ferrari of Ali? It was. So the man that picked up a drive-through penalty, unfortunately, has got a footwidth damage. So we got to pit twice, I think. One to serve his drive-through penalty. As the 2 Mercedes of Bompier and Bosch Evans get close together. As third on the road, that's Sieb and Pyro, the 2 that made contact in Australia, go wheel to wheel as Pyro puts himself into P4. So those hard compound tyres not doing any due diligence whatsoever towards Sieb. As here comes Dave and Randy Else on the Sweet Crown. The 2 Dutchmen going side by side, but Sweet Crown gets a better exit on the medium compound tyres. Here, there's contact between both Red Bulls. Sweet Crown goes a bit deep in the corner, and then Dave has to back out of it for the time being. But up the inside goes Bompier in towards turn 15. A decent move from Bompier to take on the Red Bull driver, as Sieb struggling in the early skirmishes of this Grand Prix on the hard compound tyres, but hopefully for him he can settle into a rhythm, and he should be able to do so very soon. But here we are then, Nathan around the final corner as he's so close to the back of Alpha Gully, as Pharrell's something's happened to Pharrell farther down the field. In fact, it's all good. 2 people overtook him because the pit lane entry cuts the corner, and therefore Pharrell got pushed into P15, but it's alright. He's up into 13th place then. So the scenario is Alpha Gully's leading on the hard compound tyres. He's not able to break away from his train of course because it's so difficult to pull away from the medium compound tyres, but the pendulum should swing back his way later on in the Grand Prix. So Nathan there should stick in his DRS, and we'll see if Nathan could try and overtake him later on and try and pull away. Sieb, however, went from P2 to P5. A scruffy first lap for Sieb, just couldn't go anywhere as he had 2 cars in the middle, as then Dave already picks up a 3-second penalty. He's under massive pressure from Bosch Evans right behind as well, and then Dave is out of DRS range towards Bompier and Sweet Crown, as here is Sweet Crown then right to the back of Sieb World Gamer as we head down the back straight, heading towards turn 12. Nathan has overtaken the leader, as now he puts his kick salver up into P1 ahead of the Williams driver. As we head down towards turn 12, a few people changing positions. We got then Dave defending from Delano. He's been overtaken, but he's fighting back on the inside. A bit of contact there between 2, a bit of wheel banging as they continue going wheel to wheel out of the corner. Here comes Speedcon up the inside of Sieb, but Sieb retakes P5 away. And thanks to that move, I think they broke the DRS gap. Yes, they have. So the top 4 are able to pull away because Sieb and Speedcon fighting so hard down there as Sieb goes off the track in turn 19, so maybe a warning headed his way. But Nathan JB then flying as he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as here comes Speedcloud again on Sweet Crown. Sorry, here comes Sweet Crown Nasib as he puts himself now up into P5. With those being the compound tyres, is there any way for Sweet Crown to try and get himself back in that DRS train? As you can see, low battery, but he has to use it to get himself back under a second between himself and Pyro. It's very important for him to get himself back in DRS range, because if he can't, he'll have a very hard task getting himself in DRS range and dragging himself along the leaders as well. But it looks like he's done it so far. The gap is 7 tenths though, so despite that, as he makes a mistake out of turn 9 he goes. Sebastian Vettel broke his suspension, I think, back in 2019. As we head now towards turn 10 we go, this slow speed corner. Juventus are now shaping up a move potentially, as he was so close out of the corner of turn 10. As we head down the back straight with DRS open for all the drivers here in the top 5 or top 6, as you can see Sieb in the background there. Alpha Gully though just sticking on the back of Nathan. He knows that the tyre advantage will come his way very shortly, as Delano and Bosch Evans there scrapping away, as Bosch Evans is up into P8 ahead of Delano in the Aston Martin. Dave is right behind as well. Dave, a great qualifying, but unfortunately lost a few places at the start. Yes, he has. Look at that, P6 down to P10. Sieb as well. So 2 Red Bulls having a difficult start here in Texas, but we know they're both on the hard compound tyres, so maybe the tyre is not operating in the right window. Let's not forget to mention Chazza as well and Ferg. They've dropped a lot of places. Ferg pitted on the last lap, unfortunately, so something must have happened to him. And the kicks out in the background, losing the rear end as well. That's Pharrell in P14. As we head towards turn 1 we go. Here comes Delano looking for a dummy move around the outside, but Dave as well also looks to take advantage. A better exit for Dave as they go wheel to wheel in towards turn 2. It's close between those two, but nobody looks like they're backing out so far. Not a place you want to go side by side. Then Dave picks up a potential track limit warning and a second one, and now he's got a 3-second penalty there, as then Dave is collecting the award for the most penalties. As we head up towards turn 9 they go. Nobody willing to yield in towards the first sector. They're both on the hard compound tyres, so I'm not quite sure why they didn't yield there, but one of them picked up the consequences, as now Alpha Gully is on the back of Nathan JB as he pulls the left-hand side and he retakes the lead of the Grand Prix in that DRS trade. Juventus will find it a hard time to make his way through in that DRS trade. Here is a multi-car battle. Bosch Evans getting swamped by Dave and the Aston Martin driver. Dave's back up to P8 ahead of the Aston Martin. Bosch Evans been shuffled backwards into P10. Followed by Chazza, who had a horrific start. A great qualifier, but a bad start. Then he says that Alpha Gully is looking rapid. He is indeed. Even on the hard compound tyres, he's still showing some great pace. Look at Juventus hunting down Nathan like a fox as he makes his way towards turn 19 and turn 20. Both in Shizu are Alpha Gully and Juventus. I'm not quite sure if they're in a party with each other, is Alpha Gully and Yavoon. As we head onto the main straight once again, DRS enabled for all these guys as we climb towards turn 1 there. Nathan looking for a move as he almost makes contact with Alpha Gully going towards turn 1, but keeps his nose clean for the time being. You can see Juventus with so much confidence as well in the first sector, able to stick on the back of Nathan JB. Look at that, carrying more speed, and thankfully he did go down the inside there, because that would have been a risky move and would have took both of them out as well. Out of contention for the win, as Juventus massive oversteer out of turn 9 as he applied the throttle. But here we are, there's the detection point to signal the DRS as we head down towards turn 10 again. Let's see, can Juventus get past Nathan? As DRS then, both drivers will have it. Nathan's used a lot more battery than Jeroen. And here is Nathan then with the DRS wide open. He should be able to overtake him. Yes, he does. He puts himself back into the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of Alpha Gully. These two will continue swapping places if they work together. And the guys further behind will have a harder time as the guys ahead of them have DRS, the same speed on the straight. That's the problem with DRS, unfortunately. Just stuck in a DRS train. There's nothing you can do about it, of course, because the only thing you can do about it is risk using a lot of ERS to try and get past the guys ahead. But at the same time, if you risk that and doesn't succeed, you will be exposed by the guys behind. In my personal preference and opinion, I think the mediums to hards is a better strategy, but we'll see. Can Alpha Gully make this work? He's got tremendous pace already in the hard compound tyres, and he pulls the left-hand side to overtake Nathan as he goes back into first place and retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. As he has a massive lock-up as well. Oh, you move to make contact with Nathan. In towards turn 1 they go. A bit unshaken there. Both cars losing the balance, and looks like Nathan's lost a lot of time already. So is this the time for Alpha Gully to pull away on those hardcore power tyres? It's very crucial for Nathan to stick in DRS range. If he can't, then Alpha Gully may be set free to break out of DRS range and pull away. We saw that with Phoenix as she threw Vizor gets a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits, but Nathan just stays about staying DRS range of Alpha Gully. And as you can see in the background, that is Steve World Gamer getting very close towards Wilson, but crucially, Nathan stays at DRS. Otherwise, it would have been a very painful race for Nathan to try and catch back up towards Alpha Gully. He's gained about 5/10 as well. Use the DRS at the back of Alpha Gully, so that's very important there. Why the DRS is so important to stick at the back of somebody is Bosch Evans now wheel to wheel as he makes contact with the side pod of the Red Bull. That's Dead Dave. Dead Dave is really getting his elbows out as well, and he also picked up a lot of penalties in this race, as he picked up a lot of penalties back in Canada, which cost him big points as well. But Bosch Evans there had to turn on the steering, otherwise contact would have been made. Kenny picks himself up a 3-second penalty down there in P13. Back towards the front with Alpha Gully leading the final corner, doing an incredible job on the hardcore power tyres as Dave once again picks himself up a 3-second penalty. The top 6 or top 7, I must say, with Bob here there in the Mercedes in DRS range of each other. So that's the first pack as Kenny gets ahead of AJ. Let's see where that is. There it is then. That's the swap around between those two. Kenny now puts himself into P12 as he has a massive snap again. That's the same in Canada, where Kenny just seems to be struggling in the braking, because every time he applies the brakes, he just gets he has a massive lockup, and the car just oversteers so much. As Diddy says, Dave's going to get disqualification this way. Pyro, another contender in this Grand Prix, picks himself up a 3-second penalty then, so not good news there. That could be detrimental for both Jeroen and Pyro later on in the Grand Prix as well, especially with these guys so close together. A 3-second penalty would definitely drop down the order. But here comes Nathan now as he decides to overtake Alpha Gully. Pulls the left-hand side and he retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. Sieb is looking to overtake Sweet Crown as they head down towards the braking zone. Level pegging between those two. Let's see which one of these two get ahead of who. The Sweet Crown with a better exit on the outside stays in P5 and just stays ahead of Sieb there. Maybe the hardcore power tyres are better than the mediums at this stage. We know the medium power tyres do drop off quite sufficiently. In the Grand Prix, as Farrell's gone for a spin there at the exit of turn 12 as Delano and Dave. Delano, better contact made there between those two. But elbows are between these two. None of them are yielding at all. This is a risky move there for Dave. But he backs out of it, knowing that contact would have been made if they continue going side by side. But Delano gets a 3-second penalty because he hooked the apex in towards turn 19 there, so that cost him big time. And now with the DRS open for Dave, once again swoops past the Aston Martin to put himself up into P8. The pit window will be open shortly between the medium power tyres. Well, there may be about 4 or 5 laps extra, maybe lap 13, 14 you'll be looking at, maybe 12 as well, depends if these guys behind want to go for an early undercut to get themselves further up in the DRS train. We know the undercut is powerful around here in Texas, so watch out to see if anybody goes for the undercut to get themselves out of the DRS range, because usually the guys further behind in the DRS train like to go for an undercut because it gets them out of that DRS train, gets some fresh air as well when they made their way out the pit lane. Try and use that fresh air to utilise that and get themselves ahead of the rest of the rivals. Here comes Nathan now. In fact, here comes Alpha Gully on Nathan, puts himself back into first place. The Sweet Crowd is fighting Pyro. Great move there from Pyro as Sweet Crowd puts himself into P4 and leaves him in the clutches of Steve World Gamer in P6. As you saw there, massive wheel spin for Pyro. The rear tyres are not taking it well at all as we make our way now towards the triple right-hander we go. I remember the tyres overheated quite a lot, especially a track like this with so many corners. I remember when the strategy was softs, when people used the soft power tyres, and in the pit lane was Pyro, so that's lap 8, 20 laps of the hardcore power tyres. Maybe a bit too early there, but he's going for the undercut, and we'll see if it works in the strategy. So he's the first driver to pull the trigger in this train, it must be said, as we head towards turn 1 with the Rune on the back of Alpha Gully. As we head out of turn 1, heading towards turn 2 and turn 3 we go. Will any of these guys respond? Tony should rejoin in clean air, or maybe just behind freefall as we enter towards turn 1. Here comes Pharrell and Duel at the top of turn 1. Duval goes a bit wide, but Farrell can't do a switch back. But Tony, now he's on the hardcore power tyres. His main target now is to utilise his clean air, try and bring the gap down, and try and do the overcut on those guys ahead. But he needs to make sure he overtakes those two immediately. He can't afford to hang around, stuck behind these two. I would love for Ferg and Duval to have a battle, but we know that Ferg pitted quite early in the Grand Prix, and Pyro is right at the back of these two. Will he get held up? That's the disadvantage by pitting quite early, because sometimes there's drivers and all the tyres right in front of you in the way, but they shouldn't fight too hard, hopefully, as the DRS is open there for Farrell, as Tony is desperate to get past. Chaz and Dave are scrapping away from PAP9. There they are, side by side, in towards turn 12 they go. But I want to keep an eye on Tony to see if he gets ahead. Does he get ahead? Duval's been dropped down. There's contact there. And that's the last thing that Tony needs. And once again, he is stuck behind these two. But in the slow speed corners, with the better tyres, better traction, as he sends one of the inside towards 15, surely he has to make the stick. He does, as he puts himself. Maybe this could help Nathan JB. Because remember, Farrell is JB's teammate. And that could also have a factor why Farrell is fighting quite hard. Because usually I don't fight too hard when people with new tyres come behind me, because what's the point? You're going to lose yourself a lot of time, and contact would be more made as well with being on different tyres. Bosch Evans has been overtaken at turn 1 by Kenny, puts himself inside the top 10 now, does the finish driver. Nathan is dropping away from Alpha Gully, so maybe his medium compound tyres is starting to fade away as well. But Tony finally dispatches Farrell as he puts himself up into P16, and that's, unfortunate for him, it took a bit longer than anticipated. Ideally, he would have loved to overtake those two, potentially down at turn 12, but he couldn't get the move done, and he had to wait even longer. So more time lost there for Tony, as he finally gets rid of those two and could start focusing on bringing that gap down towards the leader to try and do the overcut and see what happens there for his race. And Sieb is right behind Sweet Crown then, as we head side by side in the braking zone, as Sweet Crown shuts the door as he has the race in line, of course, as Sieb almost went off the track. Luckily he didn't, otherwise that's a very common spot to pick up penalties as well, or track limits. But you would have thought that Seavorld Gamer, despite being on the hardcore power tyres at this stage, the pendulum would have gone towards the hardcore power tyres now, because the hards should be better than the mediums at this stage. It's all about sticking in that DRS train for the medium compound tyres, trying to survive and trying to elongate their first stint to make the tyre life better for the hards towards the end of the Grand Prix. But Nathan, Jeroen and Sweet Crown, those medium runners, are not decided to pit just yet. They're trying to extend their stint even longer in the Grand Prix, because Tony, unfortunately, will have all the tyres in comparison to those medium runners that are staying out there longer, and he might find it a bit difficult, Tony, to defend once those guys catch up. Oh, Sweet Crown there getting very close towards track limits as he flirts with them. But as you can see, Jeroen's got a lot more confidence in the Alpine, it must be said, but he's stuck in P3, not able to make a move on Nathan. Nathan is playing this very well in the Sauber, because he knows he can use the DRS at the back of Alpha Gully, use him as DRS, swap places, and keep Jeroen behind. Because DRS can be used as a defense mechanism tool as well. Try and keep the guys behind us. And I've done that plenty of times where I've used DRS the back of somebody when I know they've got better tyres than me. And Sieb is ahead of Sweet Crown, puts himself back up into P4 now. Maybe his hardcore power tyres are starting to come alive as he goes a bit wide in the braking zone. But Nathan has done an excellent job sticking in the DRS range at Alpha Gully. Chazza and Den Dave getting so close as well. Den Dave has had his elbows out today by picking up a lot of penalties and go for moves in unconventional places to overtake. It's very risky the way he does it, especially the first sector. We never see people go side by side in the first sector because it's just a bit too risky. You've got to have a lot of trust, a lot of faith in your fellow competitors to go wheel to wheel in the first sector if you want to make it out unscathed and not a penalty. It's Sieb. What's happened? Oh, it's Sweet Crown. So Sweet Crown is in the pit lane then, so he's opted to go for his stop earlier than the others, and we'll see where Pyro rejoins in comparison to him. On a bonus set of hardcore power tyres then, and let's see where Tony is as Sweet Crown trundles down the pit lane as he can deactivate the pit lane speed limiter, and let's see where he is. There is Pyro. So actually Sweet Crown overcuts him, and Tony, that's unfortunate for him, on three lap old hardcore power tyres. maybe, in fact, I don't know why I say maybe, but that traffic between Pharrell and Duval definitely lost him a lot of time. It's played into the hands of Sweet Crown, having much better tyres than Pyro, because 3-lap old hardcore powered tyres, they do make a difference. Further up the road, Nathan has overtaken Alpha Gully. And Yavuva's, oh, he's so close to the back of Alpha Gully as well. But I wonder now, will Nathan JB, will Yavuva's respond on this lap? Is this the time to respond? Den Dave is ahead of Chazza. No, he's not. Den Dave is coming back on Chazza. Delano, sorry. He did a double overtake there, Den Dave. Oh, there's contact between those two. They're getting those elbows out, those two. Not leaving each other alone whatsoever. But this is great racing. Hopefully keep it nice and clean as we head towards turn 15. Alpha Gully, though, super close to the back of Nathan, but Nathan is pitting, and so is Javun Fuzzer. Those mini compound tyres are starting to fade away, and the peak performance have gone. So Alpha Gully will take the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of Seaboard. Game of Bob Pierre on the hard compound tyres will follow through as well. I wonder how the strategy will pay out for the hard runners later on, doing the hards to mediums. So let's see then where Nathan JB rejoins in comparison to Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown is right behind Tony, but he should get back ahead of him. There is the Sauber exiting the pit lane, but Yavuva's has got him. Up towards turn 1 we go. It's going to be super close there. Will be any contact? Oh, there's contact there between Nathan and Tony, but Tony gets a better exit now, side by side with Nathan JB, and I don't think Nathan's going to back out of this one. No, he's not. That was super close there between all 4 drivers, but how on earth did Javu Frizzer overcut or jump Nathan in the pit lane? Because Nathan was ahead in the pit lane, but maybe, I don't know what happened there. So let's see then how this race is going to go with people on different age of tyres. I think Tony, unfortunately, is in the worst spot out of all of them. His big disadvantage is Tony in P12 on older hardcore powered tyres. That traffic has really hurt his race, as we see Sweet Crown wheel to wheel with Yavoon, and Yavoon not really putting up a defence there. He doesn't have DRS, those Yavoons, that's why I didn't really put up much of a defence, as he's now down to P10. This could be very interesting now, because these hard runners all in the fight amongst themselves, while the top 3 go from hards to mediums. They're also strategy. Here comes Sweet Crown down the inside of the Aston Martin. That's a very important move there to get past traffic immediately, not to get held back. And here comes Yavoon now side by side in towards the triple right-hander. He's done it. Next up is Nathan JB. Also has to get past the Aston Martin quickly, because he can't afford to let those guys go and break the DRS. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. Up the inside of the final corner as he makes it stick. He gets the DRS now. As we head towards turn 1 we go. And Den Dave is ahead of Delano. In fact, they go wheel 2 once again. Those two have not left each other alone throughout the whole race, as Bosch Evans picks himself up a 10-second penalty, a 3, as Pyro has overtaken Tropic, who is on the hard compound tyres course, much older hard, so he's defenceless. They can't defend from those guys. Completely in a different race. We're halfway into this race, and the people who started the midi compound tyres are now on a set of hard compound tyres, and the people on the hards who start on them are still going a long way, of course, because that's how the strategy works for them, extending their hard compound tyres. And I think this is going to be an excellent race towards the end, because we've got the quartet on the hard compound tyres down to P9, P10 and P8, and Delano gets ahead of Den Dave once again. Then we got the hardcore powered tyre runners going towards the mediums. That's going to be the top 3, or shall I say the top 7. Sweet Carl's next target is Kenny. Let's see if he goes up the inside again in towards the left-hander. He's a bit too far back to do so. And once again, these two getting so close. Again, as we go wheel to wheel in the triple right-hander we go. Dende gets a lovely launch around the outside. More speed as they make contact again. This is very worrying there, because these two have made so much contact as Kenny is in the pit lane. A bit earlier than expected for Kenny, but he's had enough of those hardcore power tyres. He gets out of the way for the guys behind too, which is very important. Up towards turn 1 once again between the trio. This pack is being caught up by people on newer tyres. Could we see people in contact as Pyro is out of the DRS range then? Those hardcore power tyres not paying any dividends for him, as he's been dropped out of DRS, and unfortunately for him, that's probably his race decided, because there's no way he can catch towards these guys now out of DRS on older tyres. That early undercut there for Tony has not worked successfully for him, as he's paying the price right now as we see these guys all in a battle as we head down towards to 11. Sweet Crown around the outside, an aggressive move there for Sweet Crown. He needs to make sure he doesn't make contact with any of these guys, because that could end his race. As Nathan JB has a very bad exit out of turn 11, as here we are, then here comes Chazza on Sweet Crown. He overtakes Sweet Crown as he's boxed in the middle there. As we head down towards turn 12 we go. Can be very careful not to make contact with people on the tyres. We're going 3 abreast almost in towards 13. Here comes Jeroen up the inside. It's a risky move. He gets past Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown around the outside of Chaz as well. Nathan JB's there. Chaz has been pushed out. Sweet Crown and Nathan make contact. We go towards turn 15. Jeroen Vizzer around the outside of Dead Dave as well. And we had multiple people swap places there in towards those sequence of corners, but thankfully kept it all cleanly, hopefully as well. But Jeroen now is the leader of this pack. And Den Dave is in the middle of this sandwich with newer tyres, of course, so I hope Den Dave gets another 3 second time to this race, and Sweet Car gets a better exit. He should do with those hardcore power tyres, wheel to wheel. In fact, Den Dave, though, with a bit more straight line speed, as we head towards turn 1 we go. Didn't expect Den Dave to make it that hard. But anyways, Nathan JB, contact there. I'm so glad that they didn't end up in a wall, because that would have ended his race right there and then. But Jeroen backs off Delano. He's not going to go for the move in towards turn 3, but he can be super close there because Delano's on older tyres. When you catch up to people on older tyres, you've got to adapt to their speed to make sure you don't make contact with them and ruin your race and their race. Ali has retired, and a safety car has been deployed. And this benefits the top 4 on the old hardcore power tyres. This race has got into their hands now. This race has changed its head dramatically, and the top 3 have been advantaged by it. Those guys can go with the mini compound tyres and they will not lose any time at all. So that's what happens. It's a massive shame there for those guys who were from mediums to hards. Sometimes the safety car could go your way and favour you. Sometimes the safety car could go the opposite way and disadvantage you. It's all about the times the safety car. It's something out of your control. It's not a driver problem. It's something you can't deal with. You never know when the safety car comes out. We can be very lucky or unfortunate. But Ali has crashed at turn 19 when we saw Danny Kvyat crash in 2015. As these guys on the hard compound tyres made their pit stop. I presume these guys were going to be the compound tyres. No, they stay out there, so this could be very interesting. I think they go for track position now, not the new medium compound tyres. So let's see then, as they make their way out the pit lane. Alpha Gully still leads this Grand Prix. He has a massive advantage. If Rufus gets into P2 ahead of Sieb, Sweet Crown and Nathan get ahead of Bob here, crucially for him. This race now has changed dramatically as they all catch up towards the safety car, who's parked at turn 3. I feel sorry for those guys because they were working so hard to get past those old hardcore power time winners. I've had plenty of races myself where timers of safety cars have not been in my favour at all. And sometimes where the safety car works in your favour, it's just a roll of a dice. It's out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it whatsoever. It's just a part of racing, a part of motorsport. And those who get favoured by it, those get disadvantaged by it. So, whilst the safety car is out, I'll be back with you shortly as I'll go to the toilet and take a short break. Oh no. Free fall, you had one job. Oh no. Not this. We're having a decent race until this happened. Oh dear, this happened elsewhere as well. I can't remember when it happened. I think it was Imola when this happened. I think we've got immersive or something like that broadcast. I think it's broadcast safety car. And that fucks things up dramatically. I think this could be a sprint race, to be honest with you, but how are we going to orchestrate it? I really hope there's no glitches, because sometimes it can put people in different orders. And we've seen people move up and down the order because of the safety car. I've crashed before because of this, because I didn't know when the safety car would take control of my car again. And when it did take control, I crashed. The safety car is in at the end of this lap. Is there anybody who's up or down the order in the wrong place? I don't think there is. I think we're okay. So before, in the past, people have gone up and down the order, changed positions, and crashed out because of the safety car. But I think we're fine. I think we're all fine, and we can get racing once again then. So, as we round off the final corner on lap 19, heading on to lap 20, Alpha Gully on those new medium compound tyres will have to favour towards the end, the newer medium compound tyres. And let's see what happens then as we head down towards turn 1. Kenji Rufus are possibly sticking the TS range of Alpha Gully. Does he have the pace of the hard compound tyres to stick with him? Steve is on the back of him. Steve is looking for a race win in P3. Try and get his second win of the season, his 5th race win in Cone. First of all, he's got to get past Sharoon and catch Alpha Gully. Alpha Gully's got to use his advantage because he knows he's got he's got a driver on the hard compound tyres right behind, so he could potentially hold up Sieb, and Alpha Gully can pull away. As we head now, let's see if Sieb makes an overtake down at turn 10 or turn 11. No, he doesn't. And down the inside goes Mercedes. That's RT Bompier sending it on the inside of Nathan, but Nathan there sticks around the outside. As Sieb has overtaken Jimmy Rufus, puts himself into P2. Can he catch after Alpha Gully? The gap is 1.2 seconds. Does he have the pace to try and catch the Williams? Let's see then as we head down towards turn 12. ILT Bompier on the back of Nathan once again as he goes up the inside. Here comes Delano and Pyro. Delano lays the brakes, and also Den Dave. It has overtaken Pyro too as he gets shuffled backwards on those hard compound tyres there. But ILT Bompier and Nathan go side by side. Bompier just gets ahead for the time being, and Nathan there can't do anything about it on those older hard compound tyres. The question is though, it's for the top two. Will it be Sieb or will it be Alpha Gully on his debut here in CRL? Can Alpha Gully potentially get his race win on his debut? But Sieb has brought the gap down quite a lot as well. So he's got some mighty pace in that red ball as he chases down Alpha Gully. Let's see which one of these two will win. Sieb is an important championship fighter here in CRL. He was in Division 2 a few seasons ago, then got back towards Division 1 as he turned off assists. He comes back towards the top end as well as RT Bompier looking for a move. They go side by side as we head down towards turn 2 and turn 3, but Sweet Car defends that. He also hasn't got a 3-second penalty as well, so there's one more spot for a podium as RT Bompier, as you can see, carrying more speed on those medium compound tyres. Really confident as well. Still can't get past his former teammate. Both Sweet Car and Bompier were former teammates back in Ferrari last season. As we head down towards turn 10 we go. Rufus might be vulnerable on the straight because he's got no DRS at all. So Sweet Crown fancies P3. Here he is, then pulls the left hand side, and here comes Bompier now gaining as he puts himself into P4. And Nathan JB's under pressure of Delano as well. As here comes Delano up the inside, there's going to be contact down towards turn 12. Nathan in a half spin. And Delano gets up into P6. Then Dave once again picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, and Nathan gets shuffled backwards as well, unfortunately for him. And now then Dave ascends up the inside in towards turn 15 we go. As there's a bit of contact between those two as well. Nathan JB, oh, was there more contact between those two? But Nathan JB, whose podium chances are starting to fade away now because the guys behind the mediums have much better grip. As the safety car came out for the wrong time between those guys. But this is going to be a very interesting battle between Seaboard Game and Alpha Gully. both in Good Esports Team Shazoo versus IRT. Which one of these two will come out on top, because we know Seaboard Gamer's got some tremendous pace. I'm not quite sure if he's leading the championship or not, or just behind. As we swoop through the first sector, Seaboard's got Gully in his sights. There is 6 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Between 2 top-tier caliber drivers in first and second. Sweet Crown under massive pressure. He could still go to the podium because the guys behind, they do have a 3-second penalty, so we'll see then what happens as Bob here is right behind Sweet Crown. Here is the Mercedes driver then gets a better exit. Use the DRS, but Seaboard Gamer takes the lead away from Alpha Gully. Flies past him down the straight. IRT Bob here gets ahead of Sweet Crown. What about Rufus in the background when he gets it too? No, he won't. Stays behind. But Sweet Crown in the middle of people with penalties, so he knows there's a big chance. As long as he can stay within that 3-second window of Bob here or anybody else, he should be okay to finish in P3, as Alpha Gully once again gets so close to the back of Sieb. It's been a cracking race so far. That safety car coming out to pause the race and benefiting the people that started the hardcore people on the hardcore power tyres to go onto the mediums and take them towards the end as we head towards turn 1. I think between these two it's all about who's going to be who's going to be first on the last few laps of the Grand Prix. It's all about where you're going to place yourself on the last lap, if you're first or second. With Alpha Gully or Sea play smart and be second and get the DRS in the back. That sometimes doesn't always work, but it all depends how close you can get in the first few sectors. As you can see, Alpha Gully has a lot more confidence than Steve in that first sector, as he's right to the back of it as well, as he pulls the left hand side and he goes for an overtake in towards turn 11 as he takes the lead away from Steve. Unusual spot there. We don't really see many overtakes going towards that corner, as we see the rest of the drivers then exiting turn 11. Seaboard Gamer knows he has to stick at the back of Alpha Gully and get the DRS on the back of him later on in the Grand Prix, but I think Sweet Crown in P4 will get a podium unless Nathan JB can do it about it. But the problem for Nathan JB, there's 2 cars ahead of him that are just going to hold him up with the DRS. 2 cars ahead that have a 3-second penalty. Nathan JB almost lost the podium in Canada as well, but Sweet Crown picked up that penalty and Nathan was just able to get him as Chaza and Pyro swapping places there for P11 and 12 as they go wheel to wheel in the triple right-hander. As that's so close there, almost contact between those two. 4 more laps left to go in this race. The battle between the top 2 continues between Sieb and Alpha Gully. Sieb going for his 2nd win of the season, his 5th in CRL. Alpha Gully, who's made his first appearance here, his debut here in Kota, looking to go for his first win on his debut. And the rest behind ILT Bob here, who's returned after a few weeks breaks. His last race, of course, was the Bahrain Grand Prix in Season 10. He makes his return back after a long time, it seems, as he's back in the Mercedes, but unfortunately he does have a 3-second penalty. But regardless of that, it's still an incredible result, showing that he's still got some tremendous pace in the Mercedes. Goes a bit wide out of turn 10 there, and as you can see, Sweet Crown is under pressure from Jeroen Visser. And Sweet Crown should be okay, as long as you don't get a 3-second penalty, he should be okay in P4 there. Because the guys behind him have 3-second penalties except Nathan. So Sweet Crown's main target is Nathan in P7. Keep an eye on him to see what he's doing. As long as Sweet Crown doesn't himself get a 3-second penalty, he should be able to get a podium. Ooh, not looking good there for Sweet Crown, because he's got 2 warnings on the first lap. So 1 more warning for Sweet Crown. That will be a 3-second penalty, and therefore he'll be on a level playing field with the rest of them who have got penalties, except Den Dave, because I'm going to predict that Den Dave has got a 3, 6, 12, 15, 18-second penalty. Let's have a look. Yep, he does. 18-second penalty. That was just a random guess. He picked up so many penalties in this race as Den Dave. Not really been consistent in terms of that, but we've seen plenty of good battles between himself and Delano, who's up into P6 at the moment. KXI and AJ swap places there in towards turn 1. Oh, big moment out of turn 1 there for AJ Wuhan. As you watch the top 2 battle once again, what is Steve going to do in P2? Will he just wait for the DRS on the final few laps and get Alpha Gully that way? Or will he go for the overtake and risk jeopardising his potential race win with Alpha Gully having the DRS at the back of him? It's all about who's going to be first in the last few laps. But I think Steve might play this wisely, you know, unless Alpha Gully tries to force him to overtake to get first place. And here comes Shivoon, and here comes Sweet Crowd, 3 abreast in towards turn 12 we go. Sweet Crowd's in the middle, and Shivoon later on the brakes, up into P3, but Sweet Crowd there, still around the outside. Oh, there's contact between Sweet Crowd and Nathan JB. It's up into P6. That's a very crucial move there for Nathan now, because he could be the one to get a 3-second penalty. Alti Bompia tags Sweet Crown, and now Nathan, all he has to do is keep Sweet Crown behind. Easier said than done, of course. And Sweet Crown now is in a lot of trouble. His main target is to get past Nathan JB to get podium again, so this is going to be an interesting battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. An interesting battle for third place as well. Stay tuned for the last 3 laps because it could get very hectic indeed. And look at this, then Dave now pressurising Sweet Crown as he goes around the outside in towards turn 1 here. And he's bothering Sweet Crown again, but he gets a terrible exit out of turn 1 as Sweet Crown manages to stay in front for the time being. That was very important there, not to get stuck behind Dead Dave, as Delano picks himself up another 3-second penalty in this race as well. He's done a fantastic job on those medium compound tyres, but he will get a podium as he does have penalties. A battle for the lead, a battle for third place going on in terms of a penalty fight as Nathan JB sends one of the inside of Delano. Can he make it stick? He will, but Delano might do a switch back here. But DRS should be active for both of them. It's about use the battery down the straight to see who can try and get ahead or stay ahead. Bob Pianal takes on Jeroen for P3. Seymour Gamer close to the back of Alpha Gully, but he's waiting for his time as Nathan JB there, as Delano sends up the inside. Might break himself, he does, goes a bit deep in the corner. And now Nathan's up as a P5. That's a very crucial move for him. His battle against Sweet Crown, at least he's got a car in between himself and Sweet Crown. This is getting very intense here. But Nathan JB knew what to do, as we saw that Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel back in 2018 when Sebastian Vettel tried to overtake Bottas, forced him to go up the inside, and he locked up his brakes, went off the track, and Vettel was able to take away 4th place that day when Kimi Räikkönen won his last win for Ferrari, of course, and in his career. But it's the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Steve knows what he's doing in P2, using the DRS to back out Alpha Gully. Alpha Gully, in response, is saving battery, ready for the last lap attack, anticipated by Seymour Gamer. So they both know what to do. They both know what the assignment is for the last few laps of this Grand Prix to determine who will win around here in USA. But you would have thought Steve would be in the best spot to win in P2, having the DRS to back at Alpha Gully. But Alpha Gully, what can he do? He's going to be very vulnerable. Unless, of course, as Duval now goes on the soft compound tyres to get the consolation fastest lap point. Alright then, so DRS active for Steve, but we know he's not going to go for it. Yep, he's backing off. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Look at this. His DRS gains here. You don't want to be first on the last 3 laps of this Grand Prix. As Kenny now puts himself up into P8 ahead on Dead Dave. Is there any way for Sweet Cloud to get back on the podium? Unfortunately for him, he does have a car in between himself and Delano. Bosch Evans gets ahead of Chazza. He puts himself into P10. So Sweet Cloud can't find a way past Delano. And that's his chances of a podium potentially gone, unless something happens to Nathan in P5. But back towards the top 2 then. They tried to play the DRS game. Steve knows to stay behind, but as we enter the final lap of this Grand Prix, let's see what happens then. Going up towards turn 1, I presume Alpha, yep, they're lifted off here. As we head up towards turn 1 then, all the battery will be used in attack and defense mode, and Steve goes through. Alpha Gully pulls to the left hand side and he lets him go. This reminds me of Rudy back in Bahrain when he did this and he almost caused contact, but he pulled out of the way and let Steve go. And Steve now has decided to become the guinea pig by going in first place But Alpha Gully's really struggling the first set. So look at that, the car sliding underneath him. But let's see then. Steve was not waiting, wanted to hang around at the exit of turn 1. Goes a bit deep in the corner. Oh, who spun down there? That's Dead Dave. He spun in the corner. And now here we are then on the back straight. Alpha Gully in DRS. Use the battery and there's nothing Steve can do about it as he puts himself into P1, the lead of the Grand Prix. Is there any way for Steve to fight back? As Yuri Vizza has overtaken Bob here, but I want to keep it up between these two. Can Steve fight back on Alpha Gully as we watch these two go wheel to wheel for the lead of the Grand Prix, for the race win? Steve taking a wider angle. Can he do the switch back, under and over? He can't do it as Alpha Gully just defends against Steve as we head towards the triple R. How do we go? Steve fell into the trap of playing the game there of Alpha Gully. Alpha Gully, oh, he goes a bit wide now out of turn 19. Tropic has spun, I think he has, as here comes Alpha Gully now. Towards the line he goes. He wins in Kota on his debut. Steve finishes in P2 and Nathan JB will be on the podium to finish in P3. And that ends off a great race here in Kota as always. Steve Gamer fell into that trap and look what happened to him. The next turn race there for Alpha Gully. Pulls the left hand side before Steve to go through and use the DRS at the back of him. Steve should have been more wise than now, of course, but he bolted it. Oh, God. As he bolted it, and that's enabled him to win the Grand Prix. Use the DRS at the back of him, going down towards the heavy braking zone. But the top 3 should be in the podium interviews. We'll start with Nathan because he did finish in 3rd place, and I go from 3rd to 1st anyway. Nathan JB, mate, welcome back to the podium. I think you might be a bit disappointed with the result because the safety car, unfortunately for you guys, came out at the wrong time, and you were stuck down there in that DRS train until an opportunity arose for you, I think, because Sweet Khan got spun around by Bompier.
Yeah, I would have overtaken him anyway, so it didn't really make a difference.
Would you though, because you had 2 cars in between you and Sweet Crown?
Yeah, but I'm just better.
okay,
shout out
Nathan.
to my family, shout out to God.
Thank you, Nathan. Any more words?
Free Palestine.
Okay. How do you feel? How do you feel for the next race? I think at the moment.
Shit. I hate Monaco. So yeah, not looking forward to it.
Me neither, mate. I can't. I might be ill on that day, but yeah, great race from you. Had great pace at the whole race on the mediums and the hardcore powered tyres. Shame we've only got about 3 more races left to go. Monaco, Brazil, and Japan. Of course, it's been and Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. Couldn't quite see the bottom 2 there, but you've got some decent pace in the Sauber. Do you think you could be a contender for a championship later on in the season? I'm not quite sure what the points are because it's not been updated.
I don't know. I seem to be getting consistently on the podium now, or at least at the pace for that. But I think my points in the first few races put me well back, so I kind of have to start winning to get a chance, I think. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And how did you feel when that safety car came out? You must have been a bit annoyed with that, of course, being on the medical power tyres at the start.
I mean, a little bit annoyed, but I don't know. I just enjoyed racing with a lot of people, so it is what it is. I kind of knew when we were fighting with so many people on our fresh hards that we were probably going to lose out anyway, so it's alright. It's fine.
Well, congrats on P3 once again, Nathan. Your second podium of the season, so congratulations, mate, and then hopefully a good one for Monaco for you.
Thank you.
Moving on to man in P2, Seeb. When that safety car came out, you must have been buzzing with delight because you won the hardcore part tyres. The safety car came at the right time for you and your fellow hard runners. Talk us through your moment.
Safety car was ideal. It killed the race a little bit though. It wasn't as exciting anymore. It was only me and Avaguli, of course. Had a fun last battle with him, which really delighted about it. Well, you didn't win. That's only disappointing part of the race, I think. I am delighted. Yeah, I always love to have good battles.
Why didn't you play with him for the DRS games? Because you just went straight through. You should have stayed behind him.
I was trying to go on full throttle as soon as possible so I could gap him a little bit, but it didn't work sadly. I messed up the whole the chicane, or no, not chicane, the hairpin before the long straight.
Yeah.
Which probably killed me for the last straight. I think if I did it right, then maybe would have won it. But he made a mistake himself as well, so it kind of got a little interesting before the line. But yeah, couldn't overtake him sadly.
Well, you get consistently on the podium, more and more races as well. And I think you're about P2, P2 the championship. So how do you feel for the Monaco Grand Prix coming up next week?
I think I'm gonna win the race.
That's interesting. Do you like the track or?
No, I've done it in PSGL and I learned a lot on the track, so I know what I need to do setup-wise as well. So I think it will be a strong track for me.
Well, see, if you qualify first, you will start a pole.
That's true, Jamie. You've done your homework.
No, it's from Will Buxton.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I don't watch the Sky Sport races. I only watch Viaplay, which is total shit. But let's not talk about that.
He is not on Sky Sports. He's on F1 TV.
My mistake.
It's all right. But well done today on P2, mate. Great job.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
You're welcome. See you next week.
Yeah, until next week, mate. Hopefully.
Join us back at the Monaco Grand Prix next Monday and Thursday at 7:30. 8 o'clock, sorry.